We are coming up on one of the most exciting times for PC gaming in the summer, at least in my opinion, and that is the Steam Summer Sale. And I know while to many, the Summer Sale has been a bit diluted in recent years just because deals are readily available on all over the internet, and maybe a lot of you guys have games that you already want and your library is kind of full as it is and you don't look to buy anything else. However, for a lot of you guys, you still see it as an opportunity to buy a lot of games and maybe spend a little bit too much money. I know I've been there in the past, but in this video, I want to go over 5 essential tips to survive the Steam Summer Sale in 2021. Let's get right into it. Number 1, and this is gonna save you a lot of trouble right out of the gate on deciding which games you want to buy or not. Do not buy anything you don't plan to play in the relative immediate future. Just don't do it. It doesn't make any sense. And it's going back to what I said in the beginning of the video. There are deals available all the time. So if you're buying a game that you think you're not going to get to in 2 months, 3 months, whether it be, a multiplayer game, a gargantuan RPG, or whatever the case may be, just don't buy it if you're not going to play it within, I would say, a month or so. Again, there are deals available all the time, and it just doesn't make sense to buy a game right now that you're not going to play it for a while because it can get cheaper on a different platform. It can get cheaper on Steam itself. It can appear on a Humble bundle. It can appear on a Fanatical bundle. It can appear in a plethora of different bundles. Or get this, with how PC gaming has been over the course of the last year and a half, it may be available for free. Yes, that's a real thing. All these different e-tailers are giving out free games, whether it be on Steam, Epic Games Store, you name it. There's so many free games being given out, and if you buy a game that ends up being absolutely free, you're gonna end up kicking yourself for it, when you rather would have wanted to just get that game for free or even at a cheaper price. Why just have it, collecting dust, so to speak, in your library? I know it's digital dust, but you guys get the idea. Number 2, most of the times, and there's obviously exemptions to this rule, I would stay away from really low discounts on relatively new games. Now, why is that? Well, I feel like if you're buying a game at close to or max price, you really should be doing that on day one, because otherwise, you already waited a little bit, and truth be told, if you're paying max price on a game that you didn't buy day one, that value of that game has already really depreciated in a sense, because day one is where most of the sales should occur, and a lot of the sales occur based on FOMO. So if you're eyeing a game like Resident Evil Village, for example, and that's a game I would probably consider to be one of, if not my games of the year. I love that game, but let me hit you guys with something. That game came out a month and a half or so ago. During the Steam Summer Sale, it may very well see a discount like 17% off or something like that. I believe that would bring it down to like $49.79 if my math is correct. Well, maybe that looks like a good price. However, you already waited a month and a half at that point. Just wait a little bit longer, man. It's gonna go down to $30 sooner rather than later, and you already waited that month and a half. The buzz has kind of been lifted off it, unless you really want to play it and it's like 17% off, then I guess, but I just don't think it makes a lot of sense, because by September, by October, which honestly, that's like another month and a half, 2 months away. That's not that long away. Even in August, it could be when that happens, and that really brings it around the month and a half, 2 month mark. I bet you it's going to go down to $35, $34, maybe $37.50. So if you see a discount like a 17% off, I really wouldn't touch that. Now, if Resident Evil Village is seeing a 33% off discount and it's at $40, well, maybe we're talking a little bit. And I bring up that 17% discount mark because Sony was hyping up their Days of Play event, and that's kind of their big sale of the year. And they were promoting the fact that Demon's Souls Remastered was going to go on sale, and a lot of people got excited, and at the end of the day, the game saw a 17% off discount, which, by the way, PS5 games are $70, so 17% off discount ain't really that big of a discount, and that's a game that came out, 8 months ago, 9 months ago? 7 months ago at this point, 7.5 months, so yeah, that's where I'm drawing that comparison from, but I would just recommend, hey, if you already missed out on the release date and you're buying a game that's a month, 2 months, even 3 months old, and it's only giving you a 15 to 17 to even 20% off discount, is that really worth a discount that, you're going to be dropping down that much money when you can put that money towards games that are a little bit older that are seeing steeper discounts? and you can get much better value out of them, because guess what? There are platforms and other e-tailers that you can get new release games for 15 to 17% off right out the gate. Resident Evil Village was one of those games that a bunch of e-tailers had for $49 on day one. Scarlet Nexus, another one of those games that's coming up this Friday. A game that a bunch of e-tailers are already selling for $51 to $50, you know, right around there. So if Steam's just putting that on sale a month and a half later during a sale, does that really make any sense? If you guys catch my drift there, maybe a little bit difficult to follow based on my explanation, but I think you guys get the deal. Number 3, and this goes without saying, take advantage of Steam refunds, guys. It is such a great policy that Steam enacted so many years ago, and a lot of people don't even know about it. I had a buddy of mine playing For Honor for a little while. He paid full price for it, God knows why, like a few years after the game's release, and he was like, man, I hate this For Honor game. He just hit me up, and I'm like, dude, how much did you pay? He hit me with full price. And I'm just like, dude, go check if you can refund the game. And he had no idea that Steam refunds was a thing. And bear in mind, at the time, this dude had just dropped like $2,000 on a gaming PC. He had no idea Steam refunds was a thing. He played For Honor for a little bit too long. You have a 2-hour threshold that you can play a game before. After that, you cannot refund the game. The window is you either have 2 hours of playtime or a ownership of the game for 2 weeks. So that is the threshold you have to keep the game in, but that's relatively easy to do, so I think you guys can figure out whether or not you do really want to refund a game within 2 hours, or you'll get a decent idea. Obviously, a big RPG, maybe not the best case scenario, but it's still a great tool to take advantage of, especially when it comes to performance in games. That's going to be the best way you can gauge performance, just by buying the game and running it for a little bit and seeing how it runs on your PC. You'll be able to play it for, 90 minutes or so. If it doesn't run up to par with what you want, then go ahead and refund the game. And the refund process, very, very simple, very straightforward. You can refund it direct to your payment method, or you can get a refund directly to your Steam wallet. It's a breeze. Might take an hour or so to get your refund in. Most of the times, from the people that I've talked to that do refunds, because I don't do refunds that often, but it's usually half an hour to 45 minutes and you're good to go. All right, my 4th tip. CrossCheck prices, man. Yes, Steam is a great platform, and the summer sale is going to bring with it a lot of great deals. But guys, please do not be buying Civilization 6 Platinum Edition over on Steam during the summer sale right when it opens up, because Civilization 6 Platinum Edition is available on Humble Choice with like 7 other games for $20. So that's the route you want to go if you want a Civilization 6 Platinum Edition, or if you want XYZ game. Check your Green Man Gamings of the world, your Humbles of the world, your Games Planets, your Fanaticals. They've got great bundles. You can get a lot of these games in a bundle with a bunch of other games at a cheaper price, or again, just standalone for a little bit cheaper. Every dollar you save matters, and honestly, if you save $2.49 on a game, that can go towards a great game like a Bastion or something that's available at that price point on Steam, or a Dust and Elysian Tale or something like that. There's so many games that's available for $1.49, $2, $2.49, $2.99, that if you're saving a buck or two on these games, man, you can turn around and use that dollar or two to pick up a great game like an aforementioned Bastion, Dust and Elysian Tale. Maybe you're more of a Dark Sector fan. By the way, that's a game that I'm going to be looking to pick up during this summer sale if it is down to around $2.49. A game done by the same guys that did Warframe. Quite a cool story attached to that game. Not a great game, just a game I played back in 2008 on the PlayStation 3, and for some reason, I was like, man, is this game on PC? And then the other day I realized, oh, it's on PC, added it to my wish list. And that's gonna parlay me into number 5, and that is, for those of you that own a lot of games, or for those of you that kind of have your core games on Steam, and you think, the Steam library doesn't offer you a lot in terms of what they have in the store, I encourage you, do a little bit of diving, because there's a lot of great games on Steam. Yes, there's a lot of not so great games, and there's quite a lot of not-so-great games, but there are a lot of great games, and remember, Steam's been around for a very, very long time. It's not like it's a spring chicken that just booted up in the last year or two. It's been around, and it's amassed thousands upon thousands of games, and a lot of games have got lost in the shuffle. Look, I haven't played all the games I want to play on Steam, and I've played quite a few games on Steam, but let me recommend you some underrated gems right off the top of my head. How about an Enslaved Odyssey to the West? I know a lot of you guys didn't play that. Enslaved Odyssey to the West is a fantastic game. How about a Prince of Persia 2008? I love that game. Thought it was great. The Stalker franchise. And again, to some people, these games are very well known, but you gotta remember, some of these games came out in 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, you're talking about a generation of gamers that have just grown up in that time span where they don't even know about these games, and Steam is housing all of these games, but, you know, a lot of people are just forgetting about them. And that's just the reality of the situation. Unfortunately, through the years, there have been a few games here and there that have been pulled. For example, a Deadpool, a Transformers War for Cybertron, games that I really enjoyed, but have been pulled from the store for new people to buy. I mean, if those games were in your library, they're yours to own forever, but unfortunately, licensing issues and things of that nature make it so a very small select few of games do ultimately get pulled, but I'm telling you, thousands upon thousands of games are available right at your fingertips. I'm pretty sure Singularity is on there, great first-person shooter. You got the back catalog of EA titles, a Dragon Age Origins Ultimate Edition, and these are pretty well-known games. If you really want to dig and find some hidden gems, you absolutely can do that, but there's just a ton of good stuff on Steam, and not all of it gets a lot of recognition. Even a Firewatch, a game that came out back in 2016 and got a ton of buzz when it came out, but these days, a lot of you guys probably don't know about Firewatch. Great game. But yeah, like I said, just do a little bit of digging, and that's why I always go back to the fact that there are so many games that are available on Steam, but what I like to do is every week or every other week, I like to go through the new releases, pick out a couple games that look interesting to me, and keep them in my wish list. And my wish list, I'm pretty sure at this point, is like north of 700 games that I don't own. So that's really beneficial to me whenever a Steam sale starts. I could just pop that open and just go through those games, see what's on sale, and if I want to pick something up, I can do that right away. So just to give you guys an idea of what's in my wish list right now and what I'm going to go to right away when this sale starts, Dark Sector, I just added that recently. That came out back in 2009. Loop Hero is on there, obviously. That's a little bit more well-known. Medieval Dynasty is on there. I've got Morbid, The Seven Acolytes, Sakuna of Rice and Ruin, which I have on Nintendo Switch, but I'd like to have it on PC as well. Got Necro Barista on there. I got some quirky little games on here, so yeah, there's always stuff to add, and I think that's kind of what makes Steam pretty cool, because there's a lot of games that you can just find, you know, in the nooks and crannies of this gigantic digital storefront. But that's going to wrap up this one. Rambled a little bit longer than I wanted to. I hope you guys found this a little entertaining and a little bit insightful on how I would tackle the Steam sale, how I would go about things. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.